Good afternoon. So just trying to do a couple of bits between rain showers. Not really going to get a lot done, but I've just bolted that front panel on. It's just literally 2 bolts either side, or a nut and a bolt either side. Looks alright, fits well. So just got to bolt all these bits and bobs back on now. Everything back on there. Get that back on. Try and do it whilst the rain sort of holds off. I've taken the parts to the body shop this morning. I've had 2 quotes. One place quoted me £900, and then he still wanted me to get another bonnet because he said he couldn't repair the one that I had. And I took it to another guy, the guy that painted the vehicle that's under there, and he said, "Oh, alright." He said, "I'll do it for 150 quid. So what the finish is going to be like, I don't know, but the finish on this car behind me is okay. So anyway, going to get this quickly bolted together as best I can, as soon as it has just stopped raining a little bit, and then I'll crack on with a bit more tomorrow, getting some more of the underneath the wheel arches undone. But anyway, I'll get all these bits bolted on, but you won't really see a lot of him because it is just a few bolts here and there. But this is basically my process now of getting this thing back to some sort of camper van shape. Alrighty, so that is everything on. Everything's gone back in where it should go. It looks, well, like new. That black paint didn't come out too bad, considering I painted it in the garden. So that's that for today. Very quick video there. I'll do some more when I get a bit further in, but now just literally waiting for the wings. I can't do anything else now under here until the wings turn up on the bonnet. Bonnet hinges should be here this week sometime. The guy did say that the wings and the bonnet will probably be ready by the end of the week, maybe. Again, we're going to France and we're going to the Christmas markets in Belgium on, well, first thing Saturday morning, so I won't get anything done till over the weekend. So if they turn up, if they're done by Friday, then well and good. I might be able to get the wings on or something. I probably won't get a lot more of this bit done until next week now, because the wings have got to go on before I can put the headlights in, and the bumper and all that lot of stuff. So once that's gone, it should be relatively quick sort of afternoon's work of getting everything done, because I think I've got everything now that I need. Pretty sure it's just a matter of taking my time, putting it all back together, not scratching anything. But that went together quite easily there, and everything bolted up perfectly. So looks like I've actually done something good for a change. Just a very quick one. You can see how far that was actually bent in before, because that is obviously the bonnet catch, which should go on that. So that's, and I haven't obviously done anything to the bonnet, but you can see how far that had actually gone in for that now to be stuck right out there. No, we're looking good. Everything looks good. Good afternoon. So today I'm going to attempt to paint inside these wheel arches. It's all gone off, it's still tacky. I think if I spray a bit of primer on there, then that will help with that going off. So let's try that. And I can paint all inside there white, and I still need to paint under here as well. Let's try and get that done today. Alright, so just as I started to do the painting on the van, it started to chuck it down with rain. So I've turned my attention to a dry space, my kitchen, to repairing this grille. So it literally just cracked along there. This is obviously the inside of the grille. It cracked along the top there and just a little bit there. On the other side, apart from losing the chrome strip along there, which I think I've got a fix for, there's no damage to this. There's a little tiny crack there, but when these panels go on, that one, you can't really see that. There's a tiny crack there, but that is going to be, the way the grille is going to be positioned, you're not going to see that. So I'm not too worried about that. And the little tags that are holding these pieces of plastic on, so they've snapped. So tag there, a little tag there, and they've just snapped off. So I'm going to repair all of this with some, someone had to go at me for using the word glue, or for using glue, so I'm not going to use the word glue. We're going to call it bonding agent. So I'm going to use some bonding agent to repair that. There's literally no other damage on it. How on earth that survived, I don't know. Bloody telephone. Bloody life insurance. Right, where was I? Yeah, so I'm going to use some bonding agent to fix this, because I don't see that there's any point in replacing it for a couple of snapped tags and a little tiny crack that you're never going to see. So that's going to go on there. That's going to go on there. That's a tiny little scratch, which we're not too worried about. I can polish that out. So that'll just polish up. I don't even think I need to paint this. I don't really want to paint this, because what I'm trying not to do with this van, and it might sound stupid, but I'm trying not to make it look like it's been repaired too much, which is why I'm trying not to use too many new parts. I've actually had to use a new intercooler, because it's the only second-hand one I can find that looked like it's about to fall to bits. So I'm trying not to use too many new parts. Plus I'm trying to recycle everything anyway. So I don't see the point in paint. I don't want to paint that, because this is going to look too shiny. I know the bonnet and everything else has got to be shiny, but there's nothing I can do about that. But I just want to try and keep as many bits as original as I can. So I think this will polish up well enough for it to go again. And I say I just need a bit of chrome trim, which I'm going to try and use like a bit of sticky trim that you'd stick on the side of your car around there. I'll have to again use the bonding agent to put that in, but the old lines survived. Even the tags on the bottom of this, the little pins that go into the front panel, have survived, because the impact was below. Fortunately, I don't know how this happened, because the bonnet, I keep calling it the bonnet, the bumper was severely impacted, and the actual bonnet was severely impacted. So how that whole thing survived, I don't know. It's the way it is, I guess. I don't know. So right, let's get to repairing this. Alrighty then, so that is all back together. Bonding agent applied. That you can't see. I did it from the back, obviously. Anyway, let that dry off now. Let's go and see if it stops raining. Alright, so I've given it a quick once over with some white primer. I don't think there's too much point in going too mad with that. Just giving it a thin coat. It's gone off dry, so hopefully I'll better paint over that. Anyway, let's see. I might give it one more coat. Alrighty then, so that is white. This bit won't need doing again, because that's underneath the inner wheel arch shield, but that bit will probably want doing again, although to be fair, it hasn't come out that badly. The other side looks pretty much the same. It looks okay, to be fair, considering what it was like So, I mean, should I have left it black? I don't know. I don't think so, to be fair. It should be white anyway. But I think it should be white. My other van, that's a 99, that's had a lot of welding over the years. That's been undersealed and all sorts, and that's black. Or I painted that black. Because I think that looks better being black, because it had so much underseal and stuff over it. But I think this one, because it's only had that little plate the other side, no welding on this side, so, and not loads and loads and loads of underseal everywhere, I think this probably does look better being white. But you tell me, have I wasted my time painting that white? Should I just left it black? I don't know, I think it looks okay. I think it probably looks less bodged, the fact that it's white, if I'm honest. Because it's not like I'm trying to hide anything. Not that I'm trying to hide anything anyway, because there was no rust there to start with, and then what there was, I've repaired. But I don't know, I think it looks nice. I think it looks contrast to being with the black suspension, which I've got a bit of paint on. I do need to go and tidy it up a little bit in places, but again, running out of daylight, and I'm going to paint these calipers in the week. So I've just got to do that rear wheel arch now, because I've not done anything to this yet. That's still how I got it. I've got some rust converter for this and that bit, and then I'm going to paint the inside of this one probably tomorrow. Still got half a tin of paint left, but it's coming along, and I can't do anything else anyway, because I can't do anything until I get the panels back from the panel beater, or the body shop. So interesting fact, actually, I don't know, you may even know this, I don't know, but apparently, as we know, these are the same as a Ducato and a Citroen Relay. So he was saying that all of these panel vans are actually built, all the actual physical shells are built by Fiat. So they're all technically Ducato vans. And then the body shells go off to, I'm guessing probably like a rolling shell, goes off to Peugeot and then Citroen. And then Peugeot and Citroen put their own engines in. In fact, I think the Peugeot and the Citroen is the same engine. And then the Ducatos get a different engine, they get a Fiat engine. But they're all made in, apparently all of these vehicles, whether it's Ducato, Boxer or Relay, Citroen Relay, Peugeot Boxer, Fiat Ducato, they all originate in Italy. So although this is technically a French van, apparently it's an Italian van, which is probably why they go rusty so much. Because when I worked in a Fiat garage, although we was a main dealer at the time, so we didn't have a lot to do with rust, but everyone knows how rusty Fiats go. So I don't know if Peugeots are tied with the same brush. I guess they probably are, I don't know. But anyway, it was an amalgamation between Fiat, Peugeot and Citroen, which was the same with a lot of vehicles actually back in the day. Seat Ibiza, wasn't that? And then some sort of old Fiat chassis, I think, like a Fiat Strada or something. And I know that we used to have a thing called a Ulysses, which was a people carrier, and that was the same as some other Citroen thing, and a Peugeot, so what was it called, 807 maybe? Oh, I don't know, I can't remember, but anyway, this is obviously an amalgamation between those three firms, and apparently they're all technically Ducatos. So it probably says made in Italy somewhere on this. Anyway, by the by. So tomorrow, rear wheel arches, get them sorted out. And what else? Oh yeah, and maybe the calipers might be racing red by the end of tomorrow, which will clearly make it go faster. Right, that's enough. Au revoir.